Hello and welcome to my channel, and I am Stephanie, and this is the week 3 of April's wrap up, which includes April the 15th through April the 21st. And if you haven't noticed, I'm still in the same outfit. So I forgot to say that this is day 24 of the Spring to It / VEDA Videoathon, and since I have been mixing and mingling the different prompts and stuff like that, I decided to do my wrap up for last week instead of today's prompt, which is doing shout outs or recommendations, what have you. That's just not gonna happen, sorry. I have a couple linked recommendation for booktubers, there you go. But this is what I read last week. It was a very busy week. I read quite a few books, and I actually read quite a few ebooks. So let's just get into it because I don't want to make this super long video. The first book I read last week was Say You Won't Let Me Go by Corinne, and this was a novella. I also received it as an ARC in paperback form from a Polycon, and it released like the day after I finished it, or the week before, something like that, something crazy. But yes. I give this book 5 stars. This is Cooper's novella. And if you have read this series, you will understand who Cooper is. You don't have to read the series by Corinne to understand who Cooper is, but it does give you a little bit of insight into his plight. And you also, I believe Emily is mentioned in the series as well, so you sort of know a little bit about her. But this is a novella crossover with Lexi Blake, and she, it's just so good. It was so good. I love Cooper, and I really wanted his story, so I'm super happy that he got his story, and we get to see how he evolved and overcame some of the things that he had going on. The second book I read was Project Paradise, and that is part of the Juniper Court series of standalone books by Phoebe Alexander. I give this book 4 stars. I read it as an ARC, and I placed this one in erotica as well. Yeah, this book is hot, it's steamy, and it's gonna make you think about if you're married. It's gonna make you think, hey, what kind of limits can I, stretch, maybe, possibly. So you have Valley, who is this very much not a typical housewife, I guess you could say, with kids and stuff like that. She's not a soccer mom. She is this whole story is very sex positive and very just hot and steamy. Yes. Her and her husband David decide they want to sort of spice up their very good sex life as is and try something new and get into a new community and everything like that. Main thing that I took from this is being sex positive in your relationship and making sure that you have communication. Really enjoyed it. Definitely, if you're looking for something like that, then check that out. The next book I read was Mercy by Debra, Anastasia. I placed this in the dark romance category. I gave it 5 stars. I read it as an ARC, and I listened to it on audiobook. This story is Becca and Phoenix's story, and woo! I already did a video for this book and the next book I'm going to talk about, and the next book after that, but I will link those in the cards up there so you guys can check that out. I believe it was like day 19 that I did that book review for it. Loved both of those. Becca and Phoenix are amazing, and if you can listen to it on audiobook, I say do it. Do it. The next book was Havoc by Debra, Anastasia, and this is a dark romance as well. 5 stars for this one. Listen to it on audiobook, and it was also an ARC-ish, sort of. And this story follows T, Animal, and Embry, and you don't have to read Mercy to understand Havoc, but it does give a little bit of backstory for these characters that now have their own story in Havoc, and it was just so good. So very good. It's so good. And definitely listen to the audiobook if you can. This was also an interracial friendship that is in this book. So yes, definitely check this out. The next book I read was American King, New Camelot #3 by Sierra Simone, and this one is placed in the erotic category. I give it 5 stars. This one was also listened to as an audiobook, and it was part of the Day 19 Spring to It video that I did. I'll make sure, you know, if you want to check that out, go look at the link. But this is the conclusion to the story of Greer, Ash, and Embry, and oh, was it amazing. I mean, I haven't publicly cried in a long time, and this book definitely did it for me. Like, straight up, mouth open, sitting at work in tears, because whew, just good. So very, very good. It is for the mature audience. Very mature audience. And if you're not a person that likes to read relationships, not sure if you want to read this one. It is also a polyamorous relationship, and male-female relationships go on. So yes, it's so good. It is just so good. If you can handle all those things, definitely check this out. It's also political. The next book that I read was 1984 by George Orwell. This was a sci-fi book that I was trying to read for the 2018 Romance Roundabout, and I DNF'd this book. I DNF'd this audiobook after 1 hour and 15 minutes out of the 11 hours and 30 minutes that it was supposed to go for. Ugh, I could not do it. It was so boring. So very boring. I could not get into the story at all. The last book that I read last week was Neanderthal Seeks Human, Knitting in the City, #1 by Reid. I give this book 4 stars. I place it in rom-com, and I listen to it as an audiobook. You have Jeannie, who is this like walking Wikipedia, and when she gets flustered or nervous or anything like that, she will start spouting out facts and, you know, unknowns and things like that. Well, she is influenced by, or she gets fired, and she also breaks up with her boyfriend pretty much at the beginning of the book, and pretty much having the worst day ever when she has to deal with the guy that is super hot in her building, who is named Quinn, and they find a friendship. There was a bit of some turns that go along that I was like, whoa, how that gonna work? Oh, okay. So that's why I only gave it 4 stars, but I really did enjoy it, and I look forward to finishing out the series as well. So those are the books that I read in week 3 of April the 15th through the 21st. Super, yes, busy, as you can see. Along with reading those books, I also was doing the swim mom thing and making sure that my little man was being the next Michael Phelps, or, you know, Cody Miller, or what have you. But yes, definitely. Have you read any of those books that I just listed off? What did you think about them? Let me know down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.